Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Oh my God, still 1 minute left. Oh my, I'm so nervous. I don't know how can I make it, but let's see. Whew. Hello, everyone. Say hello. How is your weekend? Okay, 8 people. Thank you. Thank you. It's a little bit late time in the US, but I know you're going to be participated. Hi, Aaron and 303LSG. And I think, I don't know how can I pronounce the first person to say hello. Vera. It's a little bit difficult to pronounce. Hello, everyone. I'm so nervous. I don't know. Oh my God, what happened? It's congratulations. It's my first live stream and a little bit nervous. It's a little bit different feeling when I had a Zoom meeting and kind of like conference by virtually. Well, let's make it beautiful. And hello, Philip and Celeste Vera. Is that right? And Thomas and Fikri Falta. Hello, everyone. How is your weekend? What did you do? It's an insane era we live now. Your room is cool. Yes, I made this room is beautifully because, nowadays we have to stay in our house all the time. So make it comfortable. Hi, Ken. What time is there? Hi, Ray. From US Miami, our beautiful state. I want to live in Los Angeles or Miami if I have a chance to go there. Need to drink water first. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Eunhee's channel. It's my first live streaming, and you have to help me to make this community beautiful. And please don't hesitate to ask any questions about me and North Korea. We are fine. I think it's a little bit like sad to say I'm not fine because almost for 1 year, right? We have to face this insane crisis of pandemic, and we don't have any much of the social meeting, cannot meet my friends freely, and cannot travel. Make me so sad. And I'm a student, so I have to study in my home all the time. And I really want to go out to release my stress. What do you feel, guys? Hi, Eunhee, Abigail. So please understand my bad pronunciation. Hi, guys. I'm so thankful that I can access this platform to communicate with all of you. And okay, let's start. So as you follow for 6 months, I was struggling actually to make contents and videos because my schedule, there is no flexibility that I can make my contents all the time. I have to study. My priority is studying because I'm a student. So I have to make this time to make contents and to, talk about my country and my people. And I have to edit, and, it's so difficult, like time consuming. So today, at end of this live streaming, I have to announce the news. So please participate for just 1 hour because I don't have much time to do it. So just I'm gonna lead this live streaming for 1 hour, and you have to go to sleep for your head. Buddy. I don't know everyone already know me or not, so I'm gonna introduce myself briefly. Good luck in your study. Thank you so much. Your every words and statement makes me stand up and continue to make this content about my country and my people. And it's just so much enjoyable because of everyone to involve this community and your ability to help North Korean people with their priorities straight. Yeah. Everyone has a priority, but my priority is studying, but I'm also wanna involving this community beautifully, more strongly with all of you. So okay, my name is Eunhee. As all of you know, I'm a North Korean defector, escaped I think almost 8 years ago when I was 21 years old. Actually, it was my first decision when I was 17 years old to escape my country because there is no freedom to express myself. There is no choice to be who I am. That's why I made a decision to left my beautiful hometown and behind my family members. And okay, even though I risked my life when I was 21 years old, I'm gonna make this journey, to be who I am and to make a better life. That's why I'm here, and currently I live in South Korea. I wish I could live in the United States, but it's not easy to make a second decision to live in other country. But I desperately live abroad one day. So after finishing my university, and I'm processing now. Oh my God! Thank you so much, Thomas. I didn't expect any. I didn't expect any this kind of like supporting, but thank you. I really appreciate. Yeah. So now I'm studying business. It is very helpful subject, especially someone who is from North Korea. There is no any free economic market system exist in North Korea. And when I decided to study business, I had two reasons. First of all is I had a finance like license, the accounting license I got when I came to South Korea after 2 years to get a better job. And I was very interesting of marketing. It's like to communicate with the people, to sell your products, to make income. And I know that I'm good at communicating with the strangers or whatever, like the people I met at a first time. And if I study marketing, I am good at the leading the market system. So that's why I choose my major as business administration. But it wasn't easy to follow my subject as a business student because I never learned about it. It's already only selected people study in North Korea, and you don't need to study about economic and business in North Korea. All of your lives will be controlled by the government and then authorities. You don't need to study about it. So when I came to South Korea and then when I started my, business studying at my university in 2017, I had no idea. There is no clue. The professor mentioned that a supply and demand. It was my first time to hear about that sentence and that like a vocabulary. Even I didn't have comprehensive of the words of supply and demand in Korean. So when I like study the economic, it's oh my god, it was a hell, and I got D plus, and I was disappointed why to me. Wow, what I'm gonna do? It's just like one choice. Just take off my university for 1 year and went to Australia on working holiday to learn English. That's why now I can communicate with you in English. So just that I lived in Australia for 6 months. I knew there are some my audience is from Australia, and then hey, talk about Australia, your life in Australia. So like it's time to talk about my life, what I had experienced it in out of South Korea. So please don't hesitate to ask any questions. And I think just briefly I introduced about me. So it's time for you to make questions. Okay. So hi everyone, like Abby, Abigail, and I don't know, Fikri. Do you study in degree or what in business? I am bachelor student. So RayLeon, thank you very much, Ray. I really appreciate. I didn't expect anything. I just want to talk about North Korea and about me with all of you. Okay. What in business? Like actually, it's I'm not the graduate student, just bachelor. I'm a senior student for my last year in this year, and I'm very interested in the marketing stuff. So I don't know when I'm gonna get into graduate school, but I'm thinking nowadays. So happy for your first live chat. Thank you for saying that. So Victoria asked me how much of North Korean population do you think want to run away? That's a pretty difficult question because there is no freedom of movement. Even it's not allowed to do domestic travel. So when I was in North Korea, I just only lived in my hometown, which is located on the east coast of North Korea. So named Wonsan. Actually, Kim Jong-un was born there, but I didn't know that. It's their lives are very top secret, so average people don't know anything about their lives. And also, we cannot even gossip about their lives, even though you heard that news of a little bit secret of Kim's lives from the out of North Korea, but you have to keep in your mind just secretly. So I can say if I, in my opinion, I think only 10%. I can say 10% of the population. There are 25 million people live in North Korea, and only about 10% of approximately, I can say, North Koreans want to run away from their country for seeking freedom to making, to make better lives, because only the broadcasting, the TV, it's just one channel. With one channel exists in North Korea, and there is no like freedom of movement, and there is no any freedom of expression and like networking. So how can, even though someone who knows about the like out of North Korea, they cannot discuss about your dignity and your freedom and your life. So all of them just be quiet what you have to follow and what you heard from the government. And so I can say just like nowadays the secret media, including DVD and USB, exposed to average people because of the secret market, black market named Changmadang. So just like middle of class can access to watch out of North Korean media, and then they realize that how much they live in insane environment with a dictatorship, but they cannot discuss the topic, the knowledge they got from the media. That's like the reason like of the oppression with the dictatorship. That's why I can say approximately 10% of North Korean population wanna run away. But there is no any exact statistics that we can say about how many people. So it's just like in my opinion. Thank you for your question, Victoria and Freakwee. It's a little bit difficult to pronounce, but please understand. I just firstly apologize. I'm so bad at pronunciation of English name. Lisa, I felt excited too. Thank you, Lala. Beautiful name. Okay, the other question is, Eunhee, do you think that the pandemic affected the elites in North Korea because of there is no trade with China? Definitely. Celeste? I don't know how can I pronounce. Thank you, Victoria. Celeste, yeah, definitely. I can 100%. I can say the pandemic situation affected to elites who work with China and to trade off their business with out of North Korea. It's the like actually in South Korea even it's domestic economic draw down, and even in North Korea, think about it, the North Korea only selected people can access to make their lives with out of the North Koreans platform and the environment. So I can say few people, selected people who have a business with China will be affected a lot. So I can say nowadays Kim Jong-un even affected with that situation because he lives his lives with the people, like elites and the business people who work with China and the Europe and other countries. So he cannot get money. He cannot be supported anymore. So a few days ago, as you might see the news of Kim Jong-il use the missile testing again in the Biden's presence, but so like Joe Biden said, we cannot allow to that this situation, and his priority is humanity and human rights issues. So I hope this the Kim Jong Il will be more oppressed with Joe Biden's presence and as a presidency era. And also many people recognize the human rights issues more than Trump era. Thank you for your question. And the other question is, let's see. So I am so sure you will live freely in a Western country of your choice one day. When and how did you find out you were oppressed in North Korea and that you had to leave? At the first time of live streaming, I introduced about it, but I'm gonna repeat shortly. It was when I was 17 years old. Actually, I have to talk about my family background first. My parents got divorced when I was 5 years old. It wasn't a normal situation in North Korea. As you know, in South Korea, it's a little bit conservative, but North Korea, as the way of life, is more conservative than South Koreans are people. So when I was 5 years old, it's 1996. It was a very unusual environment to live, as a child who are from broken family. And my grandparents from my mom's side decided to raise me. So I was raised by my beautiful and intelligent grandparents. And so like my grandfather was born in South Korea, and when he was 2 years old, his family immigrated to China. The reason was that South Korea was a very poor country, so they cannot feed themselves in South Korea very well. And my grandfather's father decided to move to China, so he raised in China about 20 years. And in 1950, there was a war between North Korea and South Korea, right? And the America supported South Korea, and then China supported North Korea. And my grandfather at the time was in China and decided to support North Korea. And then he just landed and then settled down his life in North Korea. That's why I was born. And after that few decades, since my grandfather settled down in South Korea, he had the opportunity to visit China with my grandmother, so to see his relatives, and he traveled several times in China. That's why I got news of about the Kim Jong Il, who had three wives, and then Kim Jong Nam, who is the Kim Jong Un, who is assassinated by Kim Jong Un a few years ago, lived in out of North Korea. That kind of news I heard from my grandmother. And then also my grandma told me that like China is better than North Korea, and even South Korea is even better than China. And I heard that information. I got the information and I figured out, wow, I want to be in that environment that I can live my life beautifully, and as you know, average human beings can live. So at the age of 17, it was very luckily I got access to see the South Korean dramas and American movies from a USB my friend gave me, and I saw the normal human beings like me live very freely, and especially like the women have free expression to be who they are. Long hair and like beautiful makeup and beautiful clothes and like even sexy dress. And I want to be same person here. It's I'm a human being and I have to deserve this human's dignity. But in North Korea, we cannot have long hair and express ourselves freely with the clothes we want to wear. So that time, I realized that there is the other environment, the other, land that I can be who I am. And 17 years old, the girl decided to move the country that I can be like a human being. So at the first time, I told my grandmother, I want to be a free person. I want to go to China. Even though I am sold to Chinese guy, I am totally okay. So when I was 17, it was my first time to thought about the freedom, as you guys never thought about, because you guys were born with that. So never think about what freedom is, what freedom means for you. For me, it's express myself, and with the choice that like a given freedom was very priceless and then cannot be valued anything. So yeah, that was my first time. And then when I was 21 years old, I just made it to come to South Korea by crossing three borders, China and Laos and Thailand. But it wasn't my choice to come to South Korea. I had only the information that I can be sold to Chinese guy. So my grandma, when I was 18 years old, I think not 18, it's 19 years old, my grandma handed me to go to hospital to put the ring so that I cannot have a baby when I go to China. I think it's my first time to talk about this story, because if I go to China, I have to be sold and I have to live with the man that I don't like or that I never chose. So I told my grandmother I don't want to have a baby, because my plan was, after 3 years of my escaping, I will go to Canada and other country, not in China with the man that I don't like, that I never want to leave. It was my just purpose to get out of North Korea. And my grandma just like holding my hands and to went to hospital to put the ring in like inside so that I cannot have a baby, cannot pregnant with the man. So yeah, like 20 years old girl just decided to live in free country to face my life. I hope you understand. I had a like long answer. Sorry. And the other question is, okay, let's see if when and how did you find? Okay, I answered. Is that right, Shime? Rabionrich. I don't know how to pronounce what. So people cannot visit another town. Yes, there is no freedom of movement to go to other city even, but unless you get a special permission, it's not allowed to do the domestic travel. I never been in Pyongyang actually, because it's not easy. Like when you decided to go to Berlin and New York, there is no any the process you can make the special permission to go to there. But in North Korea, there is a law mention that you have to get the special permission to go to the other town or the other city. So I never been to in Pyongyang, which is capital city of North Korea, even though I was born there. Good morning, Neil. Welcome to my channel. And Lala, I'm just nobody from nowhere, but I seen a video yesterday, people trying to escape, and now I cannot stop thinking about people trying hard to be free. Yeah. Thank you for your empathy and sympathy of my people. Yeah, actually, I'm the one of the luckiest person, because I made this life to be as a free person in free country. But many people are struggling to live freely, but they cannot make it because some of them are captured in China, and they repatriated to North Korea. They endured many difficulties, and I don't know, I never had that experience at the concentration camp, and I never tortured, so I don't have no idea how much they have to face that painful situation. It's tragedy, but it's not, unfortunately, not many people care about that news, and only many people just see and heard, but not many people think of their words imply their action. So please guys, pay attention to North Korean news. I think in North Korea nowadays, it's people live in insane environment because of coronavirus. It's not easy to live. It's even in free country, we cannot trade off very freely because of restrictions and regulations. But in North Korea, people rely on the black market. It's the resources somehow from the other countries, including China and in Japan. But nowadays, it's all the borders are blocked. So they cannot get the resources to sell their products to make income. I don't know how average people live, in North Korea with that like with the situation, with what kind of situation they live in now. Yeah, Lala, I really agree with your idea. People lead to more than just emphasizing of North Korean news. 303 LSG, cool name. When movie you like? Oh, which movie you like best? In North Korea or in South Korea? I can say I think I guess you asked about the movies I watched in North Korea, so I'm gonna answer based on this my guessing. I think I like everything, but nowadays I have now in free country, like the person who have various and like limitless information and resources of media. I have a preference of which kind of like genre I like. But when I was in North Korea, there is not much choices. So when I access that, I was so lucky to have the USB, including South Korean dramas and American movie. But I like all of them. What I watched in North Korea. But one thing that I really like was American movie. I don't know the name of the movie actually, but the story of the movie is about the bodyguard who is very sexy. Oh my god, he was so sexy at the moment when I watched that American movie. He was a bodyguard to protect the rich family members, and then actually the women who have the like a violence husband. So the main character have to protect her and her daughter. I I thought um, Americans are evils. I'm sorry to say that, but what I that is what I was taught in North Korea. Americans are evils to kill others, make and then like just conquer the other countries. That was my knowledge about American people. But when I watched the American movie, especially watched the guy to protect the other human, it was blown my eyes. Wow, that like the movie what I watched and then the education what I got from the North Korea is completely different. Like, if I put the knowledge what I got from the government and then the education what I accessed in North Korea, the people like the guy who is bodyguard killed all of human beings, but he just like protected the woman and they fell in love with each other. Oh my god, what a beautiful moment. And then I realized that, oh my god, that is the education what I got is completely lie. Yeah, that's all. But unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the movie. But it's the stories about the bodyguard who is a sexist man. And I can say that at the moment protected the woman and who has violence the man, like just like who had selected guns and then kill lots of humans. And then let's see. The other question is there any way to go up North Korean society at all? I can say, yeah, of course. I can say nowadays people can access to watch the media like me out of North Korea, not out of like the media about the South Korea and America and Indonesia, but Indonesian movies are like a little bit conservative, just not kissing and other things. But it's we can access to watch Indonesian Indian movie, the Bali movies freely. It's not illegal, but somehow like if North Koreans who have enough to analyze that situation, environment, what Indian people live, compare their lives in North Korea, which is isolated country. They can make their ideas to live, like why my life is totally different them who live in the free country. So because of the black market system, uh, not only people access to watch in the Indonesian movie, but also watching American movies and South Korean movies illegally. And they got the idea there is the other land that they can live freely. And also nowadays people live like handphone, so they can text each other. But I'm sure there is a bug from the government to check what kind of messages you communicate with your friends and your people, your relatives. So it's not a free tool to communicate with others. But one thing that I want to share my story, based on my story, was when I was in North Korea. I watched the South Korean movies, and then I talked about that stories, how much people are freely live in free country, including South Korea in America, with my best friends. But I never revealed my secret of escaping to my friends, even though they are my best friend, because I don't want to be, in that situation with all of my friends can be like what is the word, can be in the insane situation by the government. Observed them all the time, ask them like where Eunhee is. So I just like completely keep in secret that uh, escaping reason. But I talked about it like, yeah, it's many people live freely to express themselves, and there is an airplane and kind of like have the handsome man fell in love each other, and then in the street they holding hands together, they hug each other, just like humans normal life. And why we have to live oppressively, like without any choices to who we are. So yeah, in I can say few decades, I think 30 years later, North Korea can be like a revolutionary situation, because young generation don't care about North Korean the government anymore. They grow up with that black market system, so they don't ever treated by the North Korean the liars saying that like we care about our people, we support anything. What they say and what they do is completely different. Young generation got access to everything from the black market, and even North Korea teach them like our leader sacrifice for you, but they don't believe it. And then if they access to more information out of North Korea, they will make the revolutionary environment that make their lives like what we live. That is my answer. Yes, Matthew. Yes, I am live. And the other question is, Mari, thank you for your question. You are a brave woman. Thank you. Did you have the ring removed so you can have children again? What it means? What is a ring? I didn't understand this question. Ring, the marriage ring. Like someone help me. I'm still learning English, so you have to guys help me. This question, I have no understanding of this question. Like, oh, okay. The other question is, how bad is tuberculosis now in North Korea? The Japan FAQ. Uh, okay, so the other question is about tuberculosis. Okay, I have so many stories to tell about this question. Actually, when I came to South Korea after 3 years, I got tuberculosis in South Korea, not in North Korea. And I thought I'm going to die because the knowledge of tuberculosis in North Korea is what I got, just dying. If you get tuberculosis, there is no any treatment to make you alive, because there is not like there is no advanced technology and medical system to treat operate you, and not many like a food you can have. So if the poor people have a tuberculosis, it means you will die soon. So when I came to South Korea, I got tuberculosis after 3 years of my settlement, and I went to hospital and cried a lot to in front of my doctor, and I asked him how long I'm gonna live, and he just like smiled on his face. Hey, you're not going to die. Just eat well and take a medicine for 3 months, and then you will be totally fine. Tuberculosis in South Korea, it's kind of like a flu, and I had no idea like what because in North Korea, if you have a tuberculosis, you cannot have nice food, and you cannot be treated with advanced the medical system, and people just like just die without any choices to operations or treatment systems. So like yeah, it's a very insane like disease in North Korea. I think because of the like a lack of shortage of food, I can say. Um, okay, Shin Chan Sun, thank you for your explanation. I don't know, like I wish I could I could deliver more understanding the answers based on your questions, but it's not easy to speak in English. That is not my first language. This is gender. I am not sure if you remember me. I helped you with graphics. Boxwell. Yeah, I remember you. Thank you for doing that for me. I totally remember. Thank you very much, 21 grams. The other question, let's move on to the other question. Russia. Do you think China is making use of NK to be a threat to US? Yeah. Yep. It's my idea as well. China use North Korea to threat United States, because nowadays I needed to drink water first. Sorry. So it's a complicated political situation. It's very complex topic that we can freely understand about that field. So China, if use North Korea to threat United States, partly, I don't know 100 like the perfectly, but it's my idea. They have to nowadays the China economically grow very rapidly, and United States also are afraid of China conquer this world. But in my idea, it's the communist country. It cannot be the one as the country to lead this world. We have to recognize how much China threatens all like North Korea and the United States. And there are lots of resources, uncover resources to trade off with North Korea, but like only China can, free trade off with North Korean, the dictators, and then make a deal how much they can have the profits from the North Korea. But United States and other countries cannot make a deal with North Korea because of that, like a lot of difficult situation. Because in China, it's communist country, they don't care the human rights issues, but in other countries, including United States and European countries, the priority as the humanity and the human rights. So they cannot involve any economic situation with North Korea. It's advantage to deal with North Korea for China to grow their economy, but it's disadvantage for United States to deal economic that, like, the business with North Korea freely because of the human rights issues. That's my idea. Thank you, 21 grams, for your support. I really appreciate. And oh my God, Aaron's, thank you so much. I know you didn't expect donation. Yeah, I didn't expect. It makes me tears in my eyes, guys. Don't make me cry, please. Ring referring to birth control. Okay. Thank you. Explaining, Jay gets censored. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I learned about ring in English. Okay, the question is, okay, I'm gonna explain later this question about the ring. And the other question, let's move on to the other question. John asked me, is there any worries that China will try taking over North Korea if the fat rocket man were to die suddenly? Oh my God, it's a difficult question, actually, John. I don't know. Instead of like, yeah, of course, I can say China will taking over North Korea if the the like rocket man died. But based on human desire, I wonder if Kim Jong Il, Kim Jong Un died, if someone already wanna take over his power. Maybe Kim Yo-jong, who is Kim Jong-un's sister, or someone who already involved that North Korean the totalitarian system and take over power as soon as Kim Jong-un died. So, like, I don't know. I don't think China just like, China just taking over all of North Korea's things after Kim Jong Un died, because there is someone who take over his power inside North Korea. But we have to recognize how much it is a so painful situation if Kim Jong Un died, and then China wanna have the guarantee of North Koreans collapsing situation. And when we see the media announce that Kim Jong Un died and Kim Jong Un is in dangerous situation because of health issues, instead of seeing them like, hey, North Korea will be free as soon as possible after Kim Jong Un die, we see the facts, what kind of situation we can have to deal after Kim Jong Un died, and then we have to think about the process. How can we make North Korean people freely, and also North Korea make the country as a free democracy country, not like communist country. So yeah, that's my answer. Instead of seeing like China, whatever, we see the news of, please recognize, acknowledge the the process of how we can deal after Kim Jong Un die, instead of just focusing on Kim Jong Un's health and Kim Jong Un's death, and North Korea will be free. It's we have to skeptical about that news. We have to only focus on North Korean individuals' life, and we can figure out the answer. I don't know exact answer, but when I think about the individuals who live in under the dictatorship, I can make an answer with all of you, and then we can make the process. How can we make North Koreans free? The other question is, I hope my answer helps you understand. The other question is, this is so good. Cute. Thank you. Your English is actually practical. Thank you. Thank you. Jay get asked me is, would you go back or would you stay here? After North Korea being be a free country, I definitely 100% I want to go back to my hometown and live there because I don't want to be in other country if my country become free. My relatives, my grandparents there, and my all of the friends I grew up with live there. I wanna spread the democracy, the meaning of the democracy and freedom with my people. And if my experience helps them to understand about that freedom of democracy, I definitely want to live nearby them and make the environment how my people can access these tasty of choices and the freedom so they can make a better lives. Definitely I want to build my business and then that situation and then get a situation that many people access to work so they can make their lives by themselves. Not I just don't want to do just charity and other things to just give them just once. I want to make that environment my people can work by with their abilities that they make their lives. I don't want to live in other country if my country is free. Thank you for your question, Jay. The other question is 0.216. Actually, February 16th is Kim Jong Il's birthday that I must remember. We North Koreans must remember. Okay, do you think South Koreans are becoming more or less in favor of reunification? I can say depends on person, but in this moment, like modern situation with the young generation, the like young generation don't care about reunification. So I can say the news of reunification less favor to in South Korea because I don't blame people who don't have favor of reunification because in South Korea it's not easy to live your life as well. There is no time for think about who you are, even though it's like free country. It's not easy to get a job and adjust in the new environment and also like very conservative and very hierarchy like environment like cultural environment in South Korea. It's not easy, it's a very hierarchy situation still. It's not a horizontal cultural environment, so many young people after graduation they are struggling to get a job and they are in panic, especially in this pandemic era. So not many people think about reunification, and we divided over 7 decades. We don't have much common cultural experiences. How can you think about more than the like reunification? Even you don't know anything about it. So I don't blame and I don't want to complain about people who are not think about my people. I just want focus on my life first, so what I can make impact on this society so people believe me what North Korean people can make their lives after reunification. So first time I don't want to blame. First of all, I don't want to blame people who don't care about reunification. I just want make my life better. Like my life. How can I explain? I just want to focus on my life, what I can be, and what I can impact on this society. And I want to show my ability and my potential to the world. I can be the world leader, and so South Koreans can recognize my ability, and then through my ability, they can have interest to help my people. That's my plan, actually. Thank you for your question. 0 point. It's a very good question. And would you have any idea how is your right now in NK? Oh my God, I don't want to think about it. Like how serious is the COVID situation there? I don't believe there is zero or zero. Yeah, yeah, just I don't believe either. There is no like North Korea announced that there is a zero situation, but I don't believe it's completely lie. So if I were in North Korea now, probably probably think about my next meal, you know, because of the regulations and restrictions to not to deal, not to trade off with the China. People don't have resources to make their lives to sell their products, and it affects all of average people, including me. So if I were in North Korea, I'm gonna think about my next meal, what I'm gonna, feed myself, what I'm gonna do, and then what I'm gonna feed myself for lunch and for dinner. That was my situation. If I answer based on your question. Um, looking forward to today, the regime collapse. Yeah, regime collapse. It's my dream, actually. It's my dream completely. I'm looking forward to the day the regime collapse, so my people be free. And the other question is, if you never escaped from the DPRK, what do you think your life would have been right now? I think I answered this one, right? And the Japan effect, do you enjoy movements like flash drives for freedom to send into NK movies, TV from abroad? Uh, yeah, that was my. Actually, I gave a talk at the Freedom Muslim Forum, and I still keep in touch with HRF, and they send me a request. They request me to take a video to deliver how this movement, flash like drives movement, is essential for North Korea. So I took a video, and I am also doing this. I'm doing that kind of like I don't know how can I explain. It's difficult with the words. I don't know how can I explain. Oh my god, today my English is so broke and then my brain doesn't work. Sorry guys. Sometimes my brain works very well in English, but sometimes it doesn't work. Yes, so Frank, I'm still in at the university. I'm in school. I study. But next year I will be graduated. And Thomas asked me, do they have deaf people in North Korea? Do they have their own sign language? Yeah, yes, there are deaf people in North Korea, and then they have their own language as well. So one of my relatives who is deaf. So she went to the school, and they also the environment that they can educate themselves. So she has friends there at the deaf school, and like communicate with their languages with her friends. So I can say yes, exists. Listening to this mistakes me so how much American privilege I have. Thank you, Ray. We are very lucky to like in America, even in 2021. I'm so lucky to be in South Korea as well. You are doing fine. Thank you, Ken. Your English is very good. Nowadays, I'm so disappointed in my English level. It's not easy to, speak fluently. And now I started reading the books in English, and some topics, certain topics, I can understand, but especially the economy and politics are not easy to read in English. But I will make it. I will be badass to speak English fluently. One day, let's see. And the question was I got about the ring. Where is the? Could you write down the like ring question again, please? I cannot find. Where's the ring? Let's just see. Average though. um, swap nail. Swap reminds me Tinder. Swap, 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 swap. Not the same the letters, but asked me, do you still speak with the North Korean accent? That's a very good question. It's a long story, but actually nowadays I'm practicing my North Korean accent. When I came to South Korea, it wasn't easy to settle down with the North Korean accent because many people asked me and a question about where I'm from. So I didn't like that question at all because people all the time, it was just sick of it. Hey, where are I from? If I speak with the North Korean accent, and then I figured out, oh, okay, if I speak like South Koreans, no one asked me where I'm from, and not because of their asking I don't like, because of the stereotype of towards North Korean people. If I answer I'm from North Korea, people consume that I'm I'm not a capable person to work in that environment, and I don't have much knowledge about capitalism, so I cannot adjust with the new environment. So they don't give me the opportunity that I can work and that I can show my ability in that situation. So that I had to change my accent like South Koreans, like perfectly Seoul people in the capital city in Seoul. And there are also like several accents exist in South Korea, but I wanna speak like people who live in Seoul. So now I speak South Korean like South Koreans, but if my friends asked me to do North Korean language, I do because I don't want to forget my North Korean accent. So practicing. I wish you could distinguish South Korean accent and North Korean accent. All of you, maybe some of them already watched the crashing landing on you, and others don't. But please watch; it's awesome. I wanna recommend to you. So that I will explain. So Where I going? It's 어디 가세요? Or how can I wish you could understand Korean. I don't know how can I explain with my different accents, including South Korean and North Korean. But please watch Crash Landing on You, and you can distinguish the South Korean language accent and North Korean accent. Hi, Philip. Can K-pop can be the way for reunion tool? Of course, it's music and food uh, are the best uh, factors that people connect each other without words. Because even though you don't understand the language, you can feel, you can have emotion through the music and food. So I can say K-pop can be the way for reunion tool for Korean people. Okay, guys, like the Philip, I have such admiration and respect for North Korean defector. Thank you so much. Thank you for recognizing the value, Philip and Frank. I like seeing how free you feel now. Your beautiful long hair. Yes, I am very thankful that I accessed this freedom, given freedom, so that I can appreciate the valuable, more valuable freedom than other average people who just got freely. I fought for getting this freedom. I risked my life and then got it. So I don't want to be taken away this freedom from the authorities and dominators. So that's why I define myself as a storyteller and freedom fighter. Because, know, I don't want to even dream about, I don't want to think about even just any clips of my life in North Korea. I know how much I am so grateful to be as a free person in free country. Like I hope this valuable the statement that I want to share with all of you. It's just like recognize and then share this value with the others as well. Not only people who watch the North Korean defectors stories, but also people who never expose themselves to, watch North Korean defectors, the stories. Like freedom is everything, but we have to recognize freedom is not free as well. When I was in LA for 2 months, I saw the statement and slogan to shows that freedom is not free. I really love it. It's my favorite statement actually in my life. Even though I live in free country, I feel sometimes oppressed with politics, like regulations and then from the traditional standards and so the perspective of the society already fixed and people just live in dogma where majority people make. So even you live in freedom, you have to recognize how to be free person, how to deal with that freedom, how to, fight with that given freedom to be as a free person. I'm so grateful that you brought this freedom question. Okay, guys, I think I can understand a tiny bit North Korea and South differences. South has a lot of English words. Yes, Aaron. Yes, there are lots of Konglish words. We say Konglish, Korean accepted English. So when I came to South Korea, I think it's not my story. It's all of North Korean defectors' stories, actually. So when we came to South Korea, there are lots of strange words and language that we never heard of. And what the hell? Like we learned South Korea and North Korea used to be one country and we share one language and one culture, same culture. But in real South Korea, no, it's the culture has changed a lot, and language also involved with English words. So when I was in Paris back at the bakery store, I had to sell the product to customers, but I had no idea how can I remember the items of the like bread names, and I cannot sell the products. And I took all of breads, and then after work, I must like I was struggling to remember the items, but it's after 3 seconds just came out from the brain again, because you never exposed yourself to eat that breads and then to eat to be in that environment. So it was just so difficult to understand that strange language at a first time in South Korea. But now I think I am using more Konglish words than South Korean since I learn English. So I have to be careful and I have to be cautious which language I am using. Um, okay, guys, I really appreciate you participate for 1 hour. I wish I could do more, but in I think just in 20 minutes, I wanna wrap up this live streaming because I have a appointment. Okay, the other question is, do you think that you might write a book about your life someday? Thank you, Frank. A little bit shy to speak about my story. I haven't achieved many things. So I was thinking to write on my book in 2022. It's my 10 years anniversary of escaping from the oppression country. But it's not easy to write my story. It's just so painful, actually. I really appreciate Eunhee and Hyunso and Joseph and Songju and other defectors write their stories in a book, because it's not easy to just think about your past. You don't wanna remember, and you want just to forget about. I started my story to make my write on my book. I cried a lot. And one thing what I'm concerned about a write on book is I haven't achieved many things in free country yet. So I'm thinking if I make my position better and successfully, and then I want to write a book how much I achieved, and I want to deliver my message to the world and to the people who are struggling with just basic things and little fundamental things to make their lives. So through my successful stories, I can say the woman, it's very small, like small woman who is from isolated country with nothing, make this life beautifully and then make a successful life. So she can do it, he can do it, so you can do it. That is my goal. But I don't know when I can write a book, but I'm preparing. So please wait, and one day I will make beautiful and inspirational book for you guys. So that I have to my life better. I have to find my position that I can impact on this world. Do you watch the K drama? Actually, uh, actually, I don't watch K drama nowadays. because when I was in North Korea, I was very obsessed to watch a K drama because it's illegal and then very valuable sources that you can watch. And then, when your moms and when your parents say that don't do it, your ego is increasingly uh, increase, and then you want to do more. So when I was in North Korea, the government made a restriction not to watching the South Korean dramas. I really obsessed and I really desperately want to watch the K dramas, and it is completely different world when you watch the South Korean drama based on your real life in North Korea. So I really loved it, but since I came to South Korea, I watched the K dramas, and then same story. It's just like a triangle relationship, and rich man fell in love with a poor woman, or and also the like a kind of like the fair relationship things. And I'm not very interested anymore. I am nowadays. I don't watch the media a lot because of the political situation in South Korea. Since the progressive part got a power to lead this South Korea, the news and the media is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a propaganda rule for this government. And this government doesn't care about North Korean human rights issues. They just care about North Korean dictators. And they want to deal with the North Korean regime, not deal with the North Korean individuals. So when I watch the news of this, like, of North Korean news and the other the news is, it's lie, and completely they wanna just support this government and very biased. So yeah, I don't watch it. Instead of watching the K dramas and other medias, I just want to study and I just want to read a book. So I read lots of books about investment, and the nowadays I'm reading lots of investing books to learn how to be a rich woman. What kind of man is your? Oh my god, very personal question. What kind of man is your Mr. Right? I'm very, I don't know, is the right word to use picky, but I can say I have a very high standards to meet someone. So first of all, intelligent, that I can learn something and to learn each other, and humble. Second one is tall because I'm small girl. My dad always said to me, need a European guy or like a foreigner because you are a small girl, so your daughter or your son will be taller than you. I think someone who has the understanding of, North Korea, it could be great than someone who doesn't have any interest of North Korea. So like intelligent man who has, humbleness, and then willing to learn each other. And second one is would be great to have interest of North Korea because of my background and speak Korean. Well, if you don't know, you can learn. And the other one is I wanna meet someone who is ambitious. That's all. I don't know. I don't have any kind of like, it's lots of standards criteria, but communication is very important. So even though I have my standards, but if the communication doesn't go with it very well, it's not my guy. And nowadays, I'm not very interested to meet a man. I'm very interested to make my life better and to be successful woman. What about like actually guys? Just to share your stories. It's dating is so difficult. It's the hardest thing that I cannot achieve. To answer our questions, personally, I can see how writing a book could be very painful and bring a lot of tears. Yeah, it brings tears to us when we read it to stay strong. Thank you, Frank. Means a lot to me. And the other question is, Song Ho, Ji Song Ho, getting elected make you hopeful. Ji Song Ho actually elected, and he works as a politician in South Korea, and I'm very very proud of him. Among the 34 North Korean defectors, two North Koreans elected as a politicians and the work assembly the building and make rules and laws they can contribute. So yeah, it's I think I have hope that in 10 years, North Korean issues and North Korean defector, no, I think North Korean defectors make their lives in the stable position as successful individuals. So we can make more progress than this era. Many young people who are from North Korea who don't appear on the media work hard, study hard. They are very intelligent and talented, but they don't exposed in the media and in the publicly yet. But you can see 10 years later, North Korean defectors make different environment you never seen before. So Ji Song Ho and Taeyong Ho, it's very very important people for North Korean defectors and North Korean people as well. Henzi from Philippines asked me, I have a book. Sorry about it. I haven't write a book yet, but I have a plan to write book. It's I have to overcome my past when I write a book, and then it's I really respect other authors from North Korea and then publish their books to to the world that how much North Koreans are struggling with their lives, with the like in the dictatorship situation and totalitarianism. So please read the others book first, so you can have more understanding about North Korea. And then one day when I publish my book, uh, of my journey, how did I escape, how did I make my lives, and how did I make a successful journey, you can have deep understanding of North Korea. Daniel said to me, you should be able to easily pick your Mr. Right. I wish, I hope that it's not easy. uh, South Koreans, I can say it depends on people, depends on individual. South Koreans, some people are more care about reunification, or some people, others don't care about reunification. For me, it's a reunification. It doesn't mean becoming one country. I can say many people think about reunification might say North Korea and South Korea has to be one country. But in my opinion, like especially someone who is from North Korea and then who has experienced the both of Korea, I don't agree with the idea of reunification is becoming, just making one country. North Korea and South Korea has like a completely different world, even though we are one country before. South Korea exposed in the world and then accept a very very different culture, and it's like a little bit diversity than North Korea in language differences, cultural differences, political system is completely different, democracy and communism, the totalitarianism, dictatorship. How can you make a one country? Even though Kim Jong-un died, we cannot support North Korea and South Korea have to be one country. First of all, we have to open each other to learn the other cultures and the politician situations, politics situations, and lifestyle. And then we have to consider about reunification to, make one country. I don't agree with that idea. I really, really strongly disagree with that idea of reunification. North Korea and South Korea have to be one. We have to open first, politically, economically, so learn each other. And like it's the same when you are dating with someone who doesn't know anything and then just got married. It causes lots of conflicts. So that many people wanna date for 3 years or 2 years, even for a few months, and then you will make a decide to be, husband and like wife. It's the same as we have to method to have to put this method into like a political situation between North Korea and South Korea. Okay, guys, just 4 minutes left, and I really appreciate for your participation of my first live streaming, even though it's very late time in the United States, and I wish I could live in the U.S. one day so that I can make time freely. It's a little bit different to fit different time zone, but I hope one day I will live there and make a live streaming lots of times with all of you. Okay, I'm far from you. How can I help you and all North Korean people who are suffering from the dictatorship? Thank you, Henji. Thank you for your awareness of North Korean issues. First of all, I can say please share or tag North Korean defectors YouTube channel and Instagram and Facebook. We cannot directly achieve and approach North Korean people who live in North Korea. However, we can communicate with North Korean defectors who live their lives in free country and then make voices to deliver their experiences, to deliver their message for North Korean people. So if you recognize the value of their contents through SNS or YouTube platform, it's easy to share with your friends and talk about the North Korean issues. So that is the fastest way you can help North Korea. And second is helping NGO or help like just just working with them, even though you don't donate, and it's okay. Just volunteer your talents to make graphics and make like a video, editing, or as a manager, like SNS manager. It's okay, completely okay. So involve with the NGO, but we have to recognize which NGO is really working for North Koreans. Some NGOs are just like a fantastic have a slogan, but what they do, it's not related to North Korean defectors. So you have to recognize, you have to get the knowledge to analyze the which NGO works like exactly works for North Korean people. And third one is if you are willing to donate, why not? it's not easy to donate $10, but it's easy to, but buy the coffee. But if we think about, like, because of the $10 and $1 you can change someone's life, you definitely will be the person to donate to the North Korean defectors or the NGO. Like, since I meet beautiful people who are willing to help North Koreans, even though I'm a student, I don't have income, but I'm so happy to donate to the NGO, because I feel like it's the way of life we have to live with this platform. There are lots of systems and lots of factors we can help other people, not only North Koreans. I can say there are many people who are abused with the human rights, without any human rights, like in Malaysia nowadays, and the Hong Kong. So if we think about North Korea, we can expand our idea of helping people, including Malaysia and Hong Kong, other countries. So yeah, that's my answer. Thank you so much for your question. Thank you, guys. My English, it's not perfect as like native speakers, but I'm still learning. And everyone, I believe, no one is perfect. But if we try to be perfect, we can make everything. Even though when you have idea to help North Koreans, it's not a perfect way. But if you start a little bit, just like a step by step, one day we can see achieve the perfect like standards we want to achieve. That's my idea. Thank you so much, Ray. And I hope you have a long, happy life now that you are in a country. Thank you so much your support statement. And lastly, I want to announce that it's a little bit sad to announce this news. That's why I opened this first live streaming with all of you, because it's the right things to do with you who support me of about 6 months. So a few days ago, not a few days ago, I think 1 month ago, almost 1 month ago, I got a news that I can work at asset management as an intern. So I'm gonna be busy because while I study at a university, I have to work at a company that I was hired. So I don't have much spare time to make a content and edit my video for my YouTube channel. So it's my last time to do communicate with all of you, the lovely people. And actually, when I think about it, lovely people, it makes me so emotional and it makes me tears in my eyes all the time. I don't know why. So yeah, it's for a while I couldn't make my contents. So please, if you don't mind, please wait. Since like when I have a spare time to make a content, because I have to study and working as an intern. So yeah, that's my sad news. Thank you so much. I really appreciate and all of your support, and I will not forget these beautiful moments that I communicate with you. Like, not even though I cannot see your face, but one day we can do Zoom. Why not? I will announce the Zoom meeting so we can, see each other. Thank you, guys. Good night and have a wonderful weekend. And sleep deeply. Sleep is very important to make your start new day. So, yeah, love you. Really appreciate. Bye.